Hello and welcome to another episode of TUPCast, the Untitled Podcasters podcast, where we talk about films and get heavily off topic while doing so. My name is Andrew. I am one of your hosts. Alongside me today, my two co-hosts, Steve
Hello.
and Colby.
Hello.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
And
Colby's
today's
a robot.
episode, this is our
Colby's
third
a
attempt
robot.
at recording because Colby, our dear friend Colby Watsanobi, has turned into a robot.
I am a robot. I have a robot vagina.
He. So we don't know if this episode's even going to get uploaded or not, but we'll see how it goes. Normally in our episodes, we have a plan of stuff that we want to talk about. Doesn't mean we go through with the plan. Today, we really don't have much of a plan, so you guys are in for something. Before we start, we do have a request from one of our devoted listeners. So this is a shout out to Cassie, who has asked me to read this speech from the hit TV sitcom Friends. So if you will indulge me for a moment, I will recite the speech here. We are gathered here today on this joyous occasion to celebrate the special love that Monica and Chandler share. It is a love based on giving and receiving, as well as having and sharing. And the love that they give and have is shared and received. Through this having and giving and sharing and receiving, we too can share and love and have and receive. Joey Tribbiani. No clue why she wanted me to read that, but we don't really have a lot of listeners, so if they ask us to do so, we will do it.
You gotta please the minimal.
Whatever works. And Colby just went off again. While he tries to come back, we are unofficially sponsored by McDonald's and Mark Wahlberg. But, we'll probably talk about him at some point today. And none of us have seen Blade Runner.
Nope. One of these days.
One of these days.
How you doing,
see.
Colby?
I'm doing.
Okay. So, we had initially started talking about the Oscars before we had to start re-recording. The 10-second summary of what we talked about. Oppenheimer won a lot of awards. I liked Billie Eilish's performance. And Ryan Gosling did a really good job despite not wanting to do it.
And Godzilla.
Right, thank you. Godzilla won an award, and Steve was very excited about that.
Yeah, they all had Godzillas.
Godzilla -1, not the
Godzilla
other.
-1.
Yeah.
What
Right.
the -1 stands for, we will never know.
That's right, because I haven't seen
Did
it.
they not explain that in the movie at all?
Nope.
I figured they would have.
Nope.
Oh.
It's probably just a way to make it stick out differently than like a Godzilla movie. I don't know.
This is funny. So I texted Cassie back and said, "Is there a particular reason you want me to give this speech?" Her text sent me that, and she said, "I think you should start off your speech with this, please." Meaning this, I took it as a speech we do right now. She just said, "Wait, no, I meant at our wedding, not on the podcast." For those who don't know, I'm the unofficial wedding planner of Colby and his girlfriend's wedding. They are not engaged at the moment. Anytime she has an idea, she sends it to me. So I'm going to let her know it's in the podcast now. Too late.
Pop, man.
I'm going to say, but now Colby has pressure.
Under pressure. Do.
Yes, so it's too late, but now Colby has pressure
Andrew,
to pop the question.
I guess in preparation for that, you nailed it. So.
All right, well, now if I know I have to do this at your wedding. Yeah, she just sent me that.
That's me.
Sure. That's him. Anyway, where were we? The Oscars? So she heard everything I just texted her. Anyway, back to that. Yeah, I thought Oh, and I talked about my barbecue experience, which I think is where things
You have
went
to show off the
downhill.
prop.
So, oh, I will. Yes. So, my reasoning for that was, I still think that Margot Robbie was like gypped of a nomination. I wasn't expecting her to win Best Actress. She didn't get nominated, did she?
I will get back to you.
Good
Let me look.
question.
I want to
I
say
don't
she
think
didn't.
so.
Neither her.
I think America Ferrara did, but I don't think she did.
That was for supporting actress, though. I think.
Yeah, but I don't.
I
I think she got snubbed.
Regardless, I went to a barbecue last night, and it was a lot of fun.
What
it
is
was
that?
more entertaining. It's like a barbecue
No,
where you watch Barbie.
That thing you just showed off, though.
Oh, it's like a blanket, just so you could like lie
like,
down
I was
on
wondering
it.
the same
Yeah.
thing. I was like, what
like a
for the
is
grass.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would open it up, but this is the only decor on it. The rest of it's just a black
I
blanket.
think you should do the rest of the podcast having a picnic by yourself in your room
I'm in my basement. Is that
on
okay?
that blanket. Yes.
Okay, then we can work with that.
Sounds good.
Yes, and so after my first experience with Barbie, I've talked about this before on here. I did not really enjoy it as much as I was hoping to. I enjoyed it a lot more the second time. I think just now knowing what it actually was about. The first time going into it, I was expecting it to be like stupid, like really bad jokes, beginning to end. And then when it just didn't deliver that, I was a little disappointed. But now knowing like what it's about, I enjoyed it a lot more the second time.
I think, you weren't really expecting it to be serious.
No, pardon me for expecting the Barbie movie to not be serious.
Yeah, shame on you.
Yeah, no, I take full responsibility for that.
Could you? Shame.
That's what it is. But so
Walk of shame.
it was windy last night, and so they had one of those inflatable like screen projectors, and the wind just like kept knocking it over. So they were like, "We're gonna just move this inside. So if you guys like, you might wait a minute just so we can reserve a spot." So there was like maybe 60 people who were at the barbecue part of it, and like maybe 20 of them left after just getting the food because, free food. It was also getting cold out, so it was nice that they moved it inside. I like had no feeling in my hands. And where was I going with that? Oh, and so then when they moved it inside, there was only like actually like 15 people who stayed to watch the movie. But I don't know. It was a fun event.
I saw Jumanji on, like the Rock Jumanji,
Mm-hmm.
on one of those like inflatable drive-in screen things, and it did the same thing. Like every 15 minutes, the whole thing just fell over, and then you missed like 3 minutes of the movie while they fixed it, and they just like kept doing that.
I've never been to one of those, but you guys
It-
describing it doesn't make me want to go to one.
No. It was like one of those things that a lot of places started to try when COVID was like towards the end, but they didn't want to open movie theaters yet because that was like one of the last things that came back. They were doing these like inflatable drive-in movie things in like parking lots. So we did it because there was nothing else to do, and it was just like brutal. It was windy. You couldn't hear it. You couldn't see it because the screen would fall over every 15 minutes. And there was just like two dudes who would like grab the ropes and like run back and like put them in the ground, and they would go flying every 15 minutes.
Yeah, the movie hadn't even started.
It was
like
literally inflatable.
Yeah, no, yeah, actually.
Oh yeah, you like could blow
like a bouncy house,
mouth, like inflatable.
Like while it was flat, I thought it was a bouncy house. Yeah, so like they had the desktop like screen projector on, and then it blew over, and then they tried picking it up, and they did, and the same thing happened before they started the movie. So they're like, let's not make this worse on everyone else.
Nothing about that seems like a good idea.
Well, I don't know if they were anticipating the wind that night when they set up the event or like reserved the space for it. But yeah, no, it was entertaining. We can laugh about it. Then we got moved to a different location, and they were watching it inside on a clear projector, and the guy's laptop almost died towards the end. We got the pop-up saying you might want to plug in your PC. And then it said the plug in your PC now. You know how it gets very demanding that second time.
Do it now or I will die.
You have to. There are people watching.
Get to the wall outlet now.
I
What'd you
said
say,
his
Colby?
PC turned into Arnold.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every PC should.
Get to the charger.
Get to the wall now. Get down.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts on the Oscars?
They were all right.
Yeah, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like was Al Pacino at the end.
Oh, he fucked it up real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple.
He did not know what he was doing.
He didn't care. Like, why even bring him out? He didn't
Yeah,
care.
seriously. We talked about this at the end of our last episode, but like, Colby, did you see anything on
No.
that? So he was presenting the award for Best Picture. The reason people watch the Oscars, we put up with all the other awards to get to that one, and so it's a big deal. And it was to commemorate the 50 years of The Godfather Part 2, which just, I mean, as a sidebar, goes to show how a sequel is being honored more than the original was, I think. Because I don't remember them doing anything like that for The Godfather's 50th anniversary. But regardless, he comes out onto the stage, and he said something. He was like, "To this, I'm here to present the award for Best Picture." And so I
Time to
go
read
to
the
the envelope.
card. Yeah, like
Yeah, didn't read the nominees, and he just opened the card up and he goes, "Oppenheimer." And then the camera pans to the Oppenheimer people, and they don't know if they should get up because they won the award or if he's reading off the nominations.
Yeah,
it was brutal.
I mean,
He's too old.
Not as bad as calling the wrong movie,
well, yeah, that's
which it's also talked
pretty
about,
bad.
but still, it was not. Yeah, like I said, that was the only disappointing part on my end from that end. The rest of the shows I was entertained with. I felt like the host should give out the last award though.
It should be like somebody from whoever won the Best Picture last year.
Yeah, that would
cool.
make more sense too. Mm-hmm.
At least as a tie-in. Like, don't just bring out the old grizzled, like Hollywood veteran who doesn't care to even be there.
Right.
Like, you didn't see Pacino all night, which means he like came late or was like hiding in the back the whole show, just to come out and like ruin it and go home. It was just weird. It was an odd choice. He won't be invited back.
Oh, for sure. I noticed that he'll be like Will Smith. They're both on probation.
Yeah, 10 years. You're out.
But then towards the end of the Oscars, like when they got to the big awards, like Oppenheimer had a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was happy to see Emma Stone win. I know everyone wanted Lily Gladstone to win for Flowers of the Killer Moon, which she rightfully should have. Like it was a two female race with that one. Like
for sure.
And it could have went either way, but I know you guys haven't seen Poor Things, but
no, I haven't.
She's so good in that movie.
No, you've spoken about it though, like only good things.
So good. It's a crazy movie. Like it's so weird, but she's so good in it.
It's funny because when I think of Emma Stone, I think of like Crazy Stupid Love.
Yeah, I think it's Super Bad,
which is like both great movies.
Yeah. But like also La La Land. I remember her.
That's true. Well, yeah, with Ryan Gosling too. Her and him are like best friends.
Yeah, because that was Crazy Stupid Love with Ryan Gosling too, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he was. So she was Steve Carell's daughter.
Yep.
And then
they
Steve
didn't know
Carell
for a while. Yep.
Right. That was like that reveal at the end of that movie. Like I've seen this clip so many times, but then having actually watched the movie, it like added so many layers to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Flowers of the Killer Moon was one of the movies that like didn't get anything, right?
No, let me check now.
I think it just got if Oppenheimer didn't come out this year, all of those awards would have went to Killers of the Flower Moon. But Oppenheimer is just slightly better in all those categories.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
And I don't think
Oppenheimer kind of blew it away. They got 7 awards.
Yeah, Oppenheimer, Best Picture. Cillian Murphy got leading actor. Robert Downey Jr. got supporting actor.
They won like visuals and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah.
Screenplay.
I'm looking to see if I see Flower Moon on there. Cinematography. Poor Things got costume design. That was the only one Napoleon had a shot at getting.
I forgot that movie even existed,
That
man.
movie is so bad. I don't know why people. I've listened to podcasts where they've talked about Napoleon and they love it, and I'm like, what is wrong?
We
with
must
you
have
people?
seen different.
That movie.
We must have seen a different movie.
I just didn't like it.
It was
at all.
awful.
I was entertained at how bad
Yeah,
it was.
it was one of those movies.
Well, that's what it was. It was almost so bad.
Like,
it was like a car accident. Like you couldn't look.
I don't
away.
ever
like
have any desire to watch that again.
No.
I think the best part of that movie was watching Colby's reaction to the sex scenes.
The super awkward. What is happening?
The
here?
jump cuts.
The jump cuts that
when
did
he
it.
crawled under the table.
And then, like, when he's like chewing at the table.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, you know, I guess whatever guy has to do. Yeah, I didn't see Flowers of the Killers of the Flower Moon, not Flowers of the Killer Moon.
Is that what I said?
I was clarifying for myself. I don't know.
I might have said it backwards. Either way, you got
Sorry.
it.
Yeah. And then the only thing Barbie won was the original song, which was to Billie Eilish. Which I think my favorite story that I can tell is I used to work a retail job, and a customer came into the store once, and they're like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" Me thinking for retail, I was like, "Yeah, what do you guys need help with?" And he was like, "You know who Billie Eilish is, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm familiar." He's like, "Do you think she's attractive?" I'm like, "Yeah, she is." He goes, "Okay." He goes, "But if she wasn't like famous and you saw her, would you like want to date her?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess." And then he's like, his friend's like, "See, I told you." And I'm like, "Okay, that was the most random interaction I've
That
had."
dude probably had a bet.
I've had some pretty random interactions. That's definitely what it was. But like, I think about that too. Like, she, like, in some aspects, is an incredibly gorgeous girl. And then just, I'm not to say she isn't otherwise, but like, it's just weird. If anyone else cares to talk.
I don't know what's weird, so.
Yeah, this is true. I hold a high bar for weird. So that was our Oscars recap.
Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty straightforward. There's nothing crazy.
No.
Other than
no real
terrible ending. But all the movies that were supposed to win basically won. It was a good year for movies.
It was.
Steve, what is that little thing you have there with the teeth?
I don't know. It's like one of those
doesn't know
mystery minis, but like I there's like a store here in town called Bull Moose, which is like it's like a secondhand like CD DVD collectible store, and there was like a grab bag of mystery minis, and there was like a couple that I wanted and the bag was like $5, and this was just like one of them that was in it, and I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's kind of cool.
So for
looking.
anybody
like,
actually listening, it's just a dude in a tuxedo with his mouth wide open with teeth and a tongue sticking out, but he has no eyes or nose.
Structured like a bobblehead that doesn't bobble.
Yeah, but I think he's from Supernatural. I think I looked it up.
I don't remember. I know Colby Cassie is observing you. Can we get her take on that?
Is she,
I don't remember.
We need you to look at this thing that Steve has. Is this from Supernatural?
I don't think it is.
We're trying to debunk this.
I know more than. Is it like a Leviathan?
Yeah, that's what I think it's called.
Where'd you get it?
He said he got it from a thrift store.
Why would you buy that?
It was like in a grab bag of other stuff. I didn't want this one specifically, but I thought it was cool.
No way to know.
Yeah, that's a Leviathan.
Yeah, from Supernatural. Right?
From Supernatural. Yeah, that's just, I guess, a storyline I might have suppressed. Yeah. Another show that was ruined by its ending, on par with the Oscars.
Well, at that same thrift store, I found the Rocky Horror Picture Show Funko Pop, like loose ones, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," but like I don't know the movie. Like I'm not a big into the movie, but I like Googled them, and they were worth like hundreds of dollars. So then I bought them all for $5 a piece, and then sold them for $150.
That's pretty
Nice.
good.
So, yeah.
So
Loose
speaking
pop.
of,
People don't buy loose pops.
no, they don't. It's true. I was gonna say, speaking of spending hundreds of dollars, uh, Colby, did you have any interest in getting those movie theater
You
seats?
serious?
I found on. I was kind of interested in getting a couple.
Movie
There's
theater
a
seats?
there's a theater in Fitchburg that's closing,
Okay.
and they're selling the movie theater seats for $50 each, and they're all in like
I don't know what I would
good
do with
condition.
it.
Make a set.
I'll tell you what I would do.
I would
I
sit
would-
on them.
Thanks.
The thing is, they're like. So here the issue is, let me find the message
Are we
I
talking
sent
like
the lady.
nice seats or just like the fold down flap,
It kind of look
I'll
like
pull it up.
stadiums.
like a?
Yeah, kinda.
While he's looking that up,
see
Steve,
details.
I would
I
definitely
just want you
want-
to know that your little supernatural Leviathan dude's going for $22 on eBay.
Nice. See, not bad for 50
No.
cents.
Highly recommend our listeners to check this episode out on YouTube. Yeah, Chairs Movie Theater. The description says very comfortable leather rockers from Cinema World Fitchburg. Perfect for your home theater, churches, or any venue.
Churches?
Wait, what are-
27 inches. Well, so the first thought I had when I saw this was I do a community theater, and the seats we have are terrible. And I really thought about that, but I don't know. My thought is I would have to buy I'd have to go to like Home Depot or something and buy like a plank of wood to screw the seats into, and then like put another plank on top and then put
Yeah, 'cause
carpet
you have to
underneath
make
that.
sure you
but-
don't just sit in it if it topples over.
right, which is definitely what would happen.
Wait, what do they look like? I missed it.
Oh, I'll pull them up here. So this is one perspective of them.
Oh, those are like legit. Those aren't like.
Yeah. Steve, if I haven't decided if I'm going yet, because it's an hour drive for me.
Yeah, it's like an hour for me too.
But if you're interested, I gotta empty out my. I don't even.
If
My
I
parents are not gonna like
actually
this.
had somewhere to put it or had something to do with it, I would. But I don't know what I would do with it.
Okay. I was like, but do I get like? I can't just get one.
You have to buy a row. Like, how does that work? Aren't they attached?
I'm gonna. You know what? She said to let her know by midnight, so I'm gonna send her a message and find out. Do they come in bulk
Can I buy single?
or individual? Yeah, can
Can I get a single? What?
or can I buy a single? Because someone else had put the same thing on Marketplace with a more detailed description. So if I can find that, I'll look at that too. Cinema Cheers movie
Cassie
Theater.
said we should get them and build a podcast
Cheers.
set.
That's what that was my thought, but I don't know.
We'd
where
have
we
to
would
meet
do
somewhere in
that.
the middle. We'll just rent a hotel or something and just prop up there. We have to bring them every time.
Yeah.
Don't forget your chair.
Yeah, so I can't find that alternative post, but
That's hysterical. I've always
No, I mean, like-
wanted like a movie theater chair.
I kind of did
For
too.
For what reason? I don't really know.
Right.
But just to be like, hey, this theater, I bought this from this theater, and it's like a real.
Oh, she read my
Well,
message.
you know those chairs. If you
Oh,
were to buy one like that,
we
it's
got
like $2,000.
live. I know it's they're listed $50, and I don't know if that's just the Marketplace listing or not, or
yeah, that could be like an
doesn't-
arbitrary number, and then she wants you
Right.
to like send her money, and then don't do that.
no.
Out of
I would
curiosity, you should ask:
go
is
to
it
an
$50
ATM
a
deposit.
piece or $50 a row?
She says I can buy
Oh.
one. Is it 50 per chair?
Like, how do they work in singles? Like,
That's what I want to know.
They stand up. I know they're probably bolted to the
Well, 'cause,
floor.
like,
That's
you know,
exactly
sometimes
yeah.
you go to the theater and like the chairs, like the doubles are connected.
Like does one chair correspond with two cup holders?
How many couples come with one chair?
Like so there's a beginning and an end to it. Like
Yeah.
Can I get an
That's
end
tough.
These
chair
are
with
important
two cup
questions.
holders, please?
I don't want to spend a lot of money, which is
You just want one.
it's okay. It is $50 per
Interesting.
chair.
That's
How many
still not
cup
bad.
holders?
That's sorry. Okay. Does
How do they work?
one
How does
chair
this work? Do I get stabbed when I show up?
How
Like, what's the
seriously
deal?
I
You know
am
what's gonna happen if you
considering
don't
this.
end up getting it? She's gonna talk about the dude that kept asking her questions about the chairs.
Does one chair come with one cup holder? How many cup holders? I don't know.
I
I'll
would
try that.
ask
How?
the question.
No, that's just more a curious thing. But like, do I have to bring my own materials to take them out?
Yeah,
Because they're screwed to the floor.
they're probably gonna just let you in the room and say, "Pick your chair."
Have
We
at
don't
it.
care how you get it out of
Yeah.
here. Pick one.
Might. Eventually, when I clear out my Lego manifest I have, that would be like I could see space for it in the basement I have here. Huh. I'll reserve 2.
I'll take a chair.
You want one, Steve? Get
Yeah,
3.
might as well.
These are not going to fit in my car. Well, I'd have to clean out my car. This is interesting.
For $50, I gotta give it a shot.
I'll reserve. If you want one, Steve, I'll reserve one for you.
Yeah, I can do 50.
All right. So, Colby, do you? I know you don't have space for them. Do you want to put it in your storage unit?
You have a storage unit?
And then follow-up question to that: do you want to go with me, or Steve? You're welcome if you're around tomorrow.
Tomorrow I couldn't, but
yeah, they said they need to be out. You have to. So the initial message she sent was you have to unbolt them from the floor and pick them up today or Monday. We have to vacate.
You have to go get them right now.
She says they have to vacate the building Monday at midnight.
Dude, this is a time crunch.
That's why I'm
my
asking.
God.
That's why I needed an answer.
You're gonna need 2 from that end.
That's why. Yeah. I mean, take a minute to think about it, but like, can I pay on arrival?
No,
that's actually an important question.
I think
ask.
I'll pass on the seat.
No, you're not
but
paying
I would
ahead.
go with you.
You never pay ahead.
Okay, that might work better then.
If you get, no, this is what you do now. You say, "I'll take 3. Will you give me 3 for 100?"
No. If with cash though, I'll reserve 3.
100 cash, 3.
This would be 150. So, yeah. Oh God.
I'm being told by my other half that I need to get one of these chairs.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
So
that's 4.
If that's the case, we may need to take 2 cars. We can fit them in the. My trunk on my RAV4 is bigger than it looks, and I can put the back seats down.
I think those chairs are deceptively thick.
Hold on, now Cassie's texting me. Send a picture of the seat. I'm just gonna send her the listing.
Oh man,
right, I'll just send her the listing there. Well, I don't know. They're folded up. I don't think they're gonna take up that much space.
So wait, what's the cup holder situation? Really look at it.
This podcast is not sideways.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, this is not a movie episode today. But we can still upload. This is just a jibber jabber episode. Like, cause I gotta
some movies. I could talk about some movies.
I need like 2 cup holders. Like, I need 2 armrests.
Needs 2 of them.
This isn't AMC, people.
I assume each chair is 1 armrest and 1 cup holder, because if you took both off of 1 chair, then the 2 chairs on either side are down to 1 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
I would think you would just
okay.
Like that. Okay. I don't know.
I'm sending her it now.
Movie theater.
Cassie says she has a massive trunk.
We're gonna have to take 3 cars.
Cassie and her massive trunk.
We might be taking 3 cars, man.
I mean, I told her I was reserving 3, but she has not responded to that yet. So, well,
you guys are gonna get killed.
Definitely.
This is gonna
us
be it.
Trying to unbolt them is what's gonna get us killed.
Right,
I have bolters.
Hear me out.
I have.
All right, theoretically, and go with me on this.
Sure.
I am not.
Okay.
I am not a mechanically inclined person. Okay. And I don't want to speak for you, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens if we get there at a reasonable hour? Let's say noon,
Uh-huh.
for example, and we can't unbolt it. We just can't do it. What if we're just sitting there for like 3 hours and we just can't get those fucking things off the ground?
All right. So, regardless of what we do, Cassie is very determined for this. But where was I going with that? My father is a mechanic.
Is he going with you?
No.
That does not help.
And the second part to that was going to be, that doesn't mean I know what I'm doing, but I do have. I mean, I can ask her what materials I need to bring.
That would be good.
It's Cassie said it's just bolts. How does she know?
I mean, it's just bolts.
Be a man, unscrew.
Colby's dramatic. That's the point. We're recording a podcast. It's gonna get screwy. But so then, right after we go, because we're going, it seems like we have to now. I was gonna stop at Home Depot or Lowe's and pick up like carpeting and then like actual things so I can like put him somewhere. This is a terrible idea.
This is such a...
You brought it to light. You could have.
I did, and you know what?
With this knowledge,
our listeners have something to look forward to.
Chairs. We're gonna get there, and we're gonna walk in the theater, and we're gonna look at those chairs, and we're gonna be like, "We made a fucking mistake."
Oh yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that though. You just walk out of the door. You'd never see that human ever again.
That is true. You just spin around and go.
You go. That wasn't me. Sorry.
I have
place.
I have plans for breakfast tomorrow, but like 10 o'clock. Does that work for you guys?
I believe Colby said noon.
Noon. Okay, we can do noon.
I will. We'll make any time work. This is a venture for the podcast. This has become
an adventure. Maybe we could vlog it.
Oh my god, dude, we could
on the road.
We could.
Yeah,
this is the content.
Cassie can vlog us because she's not part of the, and she doesn't want to be part of it.
We got this.
She's the producer.
She's our number one fan. She's the one. I didn't specify. I did maybe, but she was the one who had me read the friend's speech at the beginning, which I thought was for the podcast, but was for their wedding that is not in the books for the moment.
Andrew, you text that lady and you tell her she needs to respond right now. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah. She isn't Cassie, just said she'll be the best vlogger of us goofballs. Actually, so I got to tell her, how many chairs do you guys want?
I just want one, because if I cut,
just
one, I'll be murdered.
Because if I only get one, that gives me the opportunity to get rid of it if I can't do anything with it.
I would recommend you get two, Colby. Just because. Here's what's gonna happen.
You're gonna fight over the chair?
Yeah, that's what's gonna. That was gonna be the essence of the story I was about to tell.
You're guaranteed
one of you
2 cup holders
will be sitting in the chair, and the other one's gonna be jealous they're not.
I'm gonna have to.
Maybe if you want to watch a movie with her, and you only have one movie chair,
you gotta have joint custody. You gotta share time.
I get it every other weekend.
Also, it feels like a thing where if you went tomorrow and you changed your mind, they'd probably give you another chair.
Because truth be told,
like don't overcommit.
Truth be told, half of those chairs are probably going in a landfill.
Yeah,
and for all we know,
they're terrible.
She still hasn't responded. Like, come on,
she's
lady.
Eager to get rid of them.
Is her name Normalish?
Yeah, I checked her.
It's like a real profile.
Yeah, she has like reviews and stuff on Marketplace. Right, cool. I did check. That was the first thing I did before I texted.
You know when people are like, "Can you send me a different angle of the chair?" Just make sure it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, sell it like that was like selling pops. That was the worst. Because they'd want every side, every corner. And then it was like, well, I see that little mark, so that's going to take off $40. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm just not going to sell it to you.
Yeah, I was like, I could literally wait like a day and somebody else will get it.
Yeah, so I don't even know why you're bothering.
Wait, let me see how many are in a row. I'm just curious. Like, I'm just.
Do I get a discount?
There's no way we can fit a row in any of our
I got
cars.
a big roof.
So. Mm. 2, 3. There's 8 in a row.
You gonna put them all in the Mustang?
No. I might take the Mustang. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow, so I'll definitely be using the Mustang tomorrow. Tomorrow's also my grandparents' 52nd wedding anniversary.
That's
so,
too
yeah,
long.
Yeah, well.
I saw a movie last night that was pretty good.
What did you say? Oh, this is a film podcast.
Yeah.
Why don't we...
Me and Kate went and saw Civil War.
How was it?
Really good. Really messed up, like visually, but like really unique, like storytelling, and not like a movie that I can picture I've seen before, in the sense that it's like new and inventive, and it's like based in America, but like it's kind of like sci-fi element to it, in the sense that it's like this world that doesn't exist currently but could exist if like elements of the country fall apart, kind of thing, but it's like based in reality, so it's kind of like a reality check on what would happen if like chaos and civil war happened in this country, basically. But all the actors were like so good. Like Kirsten Dunst was so good, and I just picture her as like, you know, Spider-Man. Like,
right. That's what I associate her with.
But she's so like serious and like melancholy. It's like a weird juxtaposition for her. But I thought it was really good. The visuals are like crazy in the sense of like they just like showed you things that looked like they're ripped straight from like a terrible news story or a news article or like a National Geographic thing about war. And they just like put it right in front of your eyes. So it was nuts, but like it was really well told, really well paced, like super tense. So
it's something I do want to see.
You go see it if you get a chance.
Yeah, I saw the trailers for it, and I don't know if it's something I needed to see, but it looked interesting.
Me a mix of like,
it's really good,
like White House Down and The Purge or something.
Yeah, that's like the idea I got.
It's like a very streamlined drama, though. Like there's no comedy, there's no heart, like there's no like the action scenes aren't like action scenes. They're just like pacing elements that like the movie needs to get from like one place to the next. They're not supposed to be action sequences. They're supposed to be like, because it's basically like you're in a war zone, but instead of following the soldiers, you're following the press, who is following the soldiers.
So almost filmed like a documentary style.
Yeah, pretty much, with like obviously not documentary film, but there are shots where it almost feels like it's shot on an iPhone, so you almost feel like it is a documentary in that sense.
That's neat. I kind of like that.
Yeah, so it was cool, and it wasn't super long. It was like an hour and 40 minutes.
Appreciate those short
like
movies.
It was the right amount.
Honestly, yeah.
It was like the right amount. Like any more than that, you'd be like, all right, like you left in too many shots. Like you don't need to. So, and there's some cool cameos from like pretty big actors that are only in like really small parts, but
I kind of like that.
Yeah, like Jesse Plemons is in it, but he's only in it for like 2 minutes. Nick Offerman is in it. He's only in it for like 3 minutes, like stuff like that.
Is Jesse Plemons the one from Now You See Me?
No, that's Jesse Eisenberg, right?
That's right. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, okay.
Jesse Plemons is... I can't say what his big role is. I mean, he was in Killers of the Flower Moon. He was like the police officer in that recently. He was in Breaking Bad. He was like one of the lackeys in like the later later seasons. Looked him up.
Yeah.
He's also married to Kirsten Dunst.
Really? Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look him up now.
Because he plays like a real small role, but he plays like a really evil role in the movie, and nobody would do it. So Kirsten Dunst basically made him do it because no one else would do it, because you basically just look like a shithead for 3 minutes and then that's it.
He's like discount Matt Damon.
Yeah. And the other main dude is like a cheaper version of Pedro Pascal because he looks just like him, but he's not Pedro. So.
Nobody except Pedro.
I saw there's only one Pedro. I saw a thing on Facebook, or just like a meme of some sort, that said that his acting, Jesse Plemons, is one that goes like underrated, like he's underappreciated as an actor.
Well, he's like super subtle, but he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
He has like good facial expressions.
Yeah,
like he's acting when he's not saying things, which is
cool.
like really hard.
Yes, that's not. Yeah.
But I saw that, and then did you guys see Kong vs. Godzilla?
No, not yet.
Ex-Godzilla. No. I mean, it's exactly what you'd expect it to be. Like, it's fun for an hour and 40 minutes, and then you go home. So, if you like monsters fighting monsters and giant apes fighting giant apes and Colby cutting in and out, I mean, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
At least he's not recording this time.
Podcast listeners, Colby checked out of the chat. He's still in our call, but muted and camera went off, so his connection probably went out again.
Yeah, because at least it's still uploading at a high rate, so I think we're good on the recording.
All right, so the lady's read my message. She hasn't responded yet, though.
Oh.
I just said I'll reserve 3. Actually, 5. What supplies should I bring to dismantle them? And then I said, do you know how much space they'll take up? Then I specified in the car. This will be something.
I also watched a really weird supernatural movie that I've been wanting to watch. It's been on my HBO watch list for probably the better part of a year, and I just decided to turn it on. It's called Under the Skin, which is like a Scarlett Johansson movie. Was it Jonathan Glazer is the director? But
what was the name of it?
Under the Skin.
I'm just looking it up.
Yeah, I think it's Jonathan Glazer, if I remember correctly. He's the guy who did Zone of Interest, which is that Nazi movie that it was nominated for Best Picture that I haven't seen yet that I want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured I'd watch this first. And it's like a sci-fi drama movie that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's one hell of a ride. If you're like trippy movies about aliens and science fiction motifs, and
I do. Is it scary?
No, it's tense.
Okay.
You're uncomfortable, but you're not.
Okay.
You're not it's not like jump scares. There's no monsters. There's no, but it's just tense because you're just not sure what's gonna happen next.
Mm-hmm.
Some movies have a clear lead in to the next sequence. This movie, you're I don't know what is gonna happen next, and it's super weird, but it's not scary. It's just tense.
All right, bring a set of socket wrenches and Allen wrenches.
Sockets and Allens.
Yes, still available. Pick them up between 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. Okay.
Oh, you got a whole window.
Yeah. It says you can now rate the seller. I don't want to rate Joyce. I don't know. Maybe she ended the chat.
That's weird.
No, I can still text her. Where's Colby?
I don't know. He probably lost all communications with the world.
Well, Cassie's been texting me about this whole endeavor, so.
Have you seen anything, Andrew? Oh, look, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
I heard you say something about
we need
Allen wrenches.
Oh, yes. And another type of wrench.
Yes.
Socket wrenches. Yep.
I'll see what I have.
Okay. I feel like that's something they should provide.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Yeah.
But we don't know what we're getting ourselves into.
That's so unprofessional.
They should probably mail them to you, to be honest.
They should, yeah.
You guys get murdered in Fitchburg tomorrow.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I need some action. This is we went on a heist last weekend to their storage unit. Very uneventful.
We locked ourselves out of our unit, so we had to bring bolt cutters and we we were going to bring bolt cutters.
They provided the bolt cutters.
And then I had the thought, I was like, we probably shouldn't walk in there with bolt cutters because that looks super sketchy. So we called the office.
Yeah,
I had
and
a
the lady
hammer
goes,
ready.
"Oh, we'll have them in the office when you get here." We show up. She just had them on the counter waiting for us, and she's like, "Here you go, have fun." I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks."
Just
Yeah,
open
I
a
was
random
like,
one.
you
Call
didn't
it
even
a
like
day.
follow us or ask us what our name. That's spooky.
Well, she was probably watching you the whole
Yeah.
time. You were in like high definition
But like
camera.
still,
probably.
for all she knows, it could have been a random locker.
Yeah.
I did have multiple locks, so we were good. But that was a heist.
You guys don't really look like criminals, to be honest.
It's also the kind of thing where like
I had a ski mask and everything.
You know the memes where it's like, oh, if you just walk into like a business with like a vest on, they like won't think twice about it. Like they probably think nobody would ever just ask to use bolt cutters at a unit. You know what I mean?
No.
True.
But,
right.
All right. Well, heist last weekend and now furniture picking up this weekend.
So I asked her. Colby, I don't know what you had heard when you were out. I asked her if she knew how much space they would take up in the car, and she said the dimensions. Some of them are 27 inches from armrest to armrest. Some are 29 inches.
They're different sizes?
39 inches.
Those are the cup holder ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Then she said 39 inches and 37 inches from floor to top of chair, and 26 inches from the front seat to the back of the chair. So I don't know.
40 inches tall is what the dimension you have to worry about the most, I would say.
Yeah, well, could we lie it down flat?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so that
it'll fold down, fold up like they do in a theater.
Since we're getting 5, I think I don't know if one vehicle is the best option.
We're probably
2.
I was gonna say at least 2.
Hey, I see hair back there.
That's my guest.
Special guest.
That's our producer.
Hi, Spy. Yes.
Our jingle writer.
And our speech provider.
Damn right.
And our therapist.
Yeah, pretty much. Multi-talented.
Have you seen any movies?
That's what we got into. Then before Colby rejoined us. Recently I told Steve this before. I watched The Founder, the McDonald's movie, which was good. And I told him the guy was a huge dick. Like, who Michael Keaton plays that character. Like, he honestly was like a very bad person. And then Steve's going to showcase his McDonald's.
Nice.
I also watched The Wolf of Wall Street for the first time. That? Which is a very long movie.
It's long, but
it's like 3.5 hours. It was good. I enjoyed it. I was entertained.
He should have won. He should have won for that movie.
I agree.
He was.
I've said before, I'm not a huge DiCaprio guy, but I thought he was good in that.
Like him just crawling down the stairs
when they're like,
it was like the best.
that was hilarious when they were like, when he was trying to save Jonas Hill's life.
Yeah.
By giving him more crack. And so I also started watching. I didn't finish it. Either of you read The Giver?
I did, but I don't remember anything about it.
I don't. So it was a book we had to read in school. It's one of the books that I remember actually like reading in school, and so they had made a movie about it. But I remember when we watched the movie, and it's a great movie when you don't look at it as an adaptation from the book. As a book adaptation, it's not the best.
Typical.
So I remember when I first watched them, as it usually is, when I watched it the first time, I remembered not liking it, or just because of how inaccurate it was. There wasn't a lot from reflecting on it now, but a lot of people had been talking about the book. Like, it just showed up in my TikTok feed. So I wanted to rewatch the movie, and I'm rewatching it now, and I'm enjoying it again a lot more now. Granted, it's been 8th grade for me was like, I don't know,
2 weeks ago.
Well, I taught it on Friday, but 8 years I think or so, 10 years maybe for 8th grade for me. So it's been a while since I'd watched the movie too. But that's a good one. So I don't know if either of you are into that. It's it's dystopian. It's a future. It's a universe where people don't experience like emotions, but not like how you think.
Oh, we're good.
And now Steve's frozen.
Yeah.
There you go. Did you hear what I was saying? Okay, so it is like not how we think. Like not everyone, like nobody walks around monotonously. It's like they've adjusted to that society, so it's the normal for them. But it's definitely like a government controlled world where they're all like capacity in one area, but the people don't know that. And every year, like when children graduate from school, I don't know if they're 18 or what not, but when they reach adulthood, they get assigned to a job. And the main character, his job is receiver of memory. So he goes to the giver, hence the name, to receive the memories of like how people actually live like in color. The whole movie's in black and white till the kid discovers colors. And then like he starts seeing like one color at a time, which is it's a cool artistic decision. Me, the Italian off camera, I'm fiddling my arms around. But it's so, and then like he starts to realize, he's like, why don't we have this in the world today? And then the giver gives his excuses and stuff, and he realizes like if he goes outside the border of his town, then those memories will be released to everybody in the community. So like that's kind of the journey he goes on. It's a good movie.
Nice. How old is that movie?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't remember it being that.
It might be 10 years or so. I'll check now. Yeah, no, it's The Giver. Let's see. Yeah, 2014. It has
nice.
Jeff Bridges and Meryl Streep in it.
A Skarsgård.
Alexander Skarsgård. Cameron, I'm gonna butcher the last name. Mohegan.
Oh yeah,
Monaghan. Yeah. From Shameless and Gotham.
What the?
Yeah, so I watched that. I watched Barbie last night, as I had already spoken about at my barbecue. Barbecue. It's funny because we already call it a barbecue, but now when you emphasize the I there,
well, I'm already outside of the norm because I refer to it as a BB Quay.
BB Quay.
I've literally never said that in my life before, but now I'm going to.
BB Quay.
Well,
true.
What we didn't know wouldn't hurt us. Have it your way.
Anything else, Andrew? Any other things you've watched?
Movies, no. I've started rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix. It's a great show.
I've never seen it. I saw that terrible Avatar movie they made, and I was like, I'm out. Like, it was so bad. It might be the worst.
That is the worst movie that's ever been made.
It's so bad.
Like, genuinely. Yeah. I remember...
You've seen Madam Web?
I was at this one time at... No, I haven't, so...
It can't be worse.
I don't want to watch it, though. And I don't really want to rewatch Avatar. That could be an episode. What film's worse?
We should do like
I don't think I could put myself watching
100 worst movies of all time and see how many we've actually seen.
Yes.
We probably will know more than the top 100. That's a good idea.
Future us remember this.
I remember at one time at band camp, one of the warm-ups we had, or like an icebreaker, was like a question ball. So it was a ball with a bunch of questions written on it. And whatever question you held was the one you had to answer. And one of the question was, what's the worst movie you'd ever seen? And the guy, he couldn't think of one, but he didn't want to say something that would offend other people. And that movie popped into my head, so I walked across the room and I whispered it in his ear, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, the Avatar movie." And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
Not the blue people one. The
collective agreement on that.
Common misconception.
No, which the reason as I think we've also talked about I don't know if we talked about that on here, but I boycotted that James Cameron Avatar movie because I thought he was pulling off
That
of
was
the
the
cartoon.
only-
He, in
No.
fact, was not.
No.
No, he was not. I lived. What year was that? 2022
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
we resaw
So
Avatar.
11 years, I think, something like that. 10 years.
Yes. So I went 11 years with that grudge in mind.
That's a long time.
Wait. Yeah, I was gonna say you knew they were blue people.
Figured it out.
Like the movie came out,
I
and they
did.
were
I
definitely
did.
not airbenders
Initially,
They probably
Some of them in the future
No.
would be
I didn't know what
arguably
kind of
water
benders they
benders,
were.
but nobody
they'll
to tell
probably be airbenders by the end. So
for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I also
There'll be
saw
firebenders in the next one.
a movie called Bodies, 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 which is like teenage, young adult, like weird horror-esque type of movie. It's like an hour and a half in and out,
Mhm.
which is always nice these days. But it's like one of these, like they're
Yeah.
all at this rich kid's house and they're partying and crazy things, and then they decide to play a game, and that game turns into death. So you should watch it. It's a lot of fun. Pete Davidson's in it, if that makes you feel any better about it.
Yes.
He's pretty good at it.
I don't go one way or the other on that one.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you want
too
minimal
much.
Pete, but,
Too much of Pete could be a bad thing.
It's like a lot of young actors that I've never
Yeah.
seen or heard of, other than Pete Davidson, and they were all, they were all pretty good.
That's nice sometimes, because you can enjoy the movie like for the characters
Well,
and
it's like
not
a
like
Clue
think
type
of
of
them
movie
as
where-
actors.
Like they start to play the game, and then somebody dies, and they have to figure out what happened, and then all the pieces start to get weird, and you're like, who's the killer? And so yeah.
What was that movie that they made that was like the horror movie
wasn't
when
it called,
on a
like,
Zoom call or
Signal?
something?
No.
Do you remember that?
With
Something
what's
like
his
that.
name?
Yeah.
From Harold and
I remember.
Kumar. You don't know what Harold and Kumar is?
I don't know what that is. I'll look up this horror movie first, and then I'll look up that. Actually, I'll do Harold.
Steve's
and
rolling
Kumar
out of
first,
view.
maybe.
I was saying good.
Is he? I had a different tab open. Yeah, I can't say I'm familiar with that one.
You never seen Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle?
Harold and Kumar.
The greatest stoner movie of all time?
No,
You have to watch it.
but I'll watch them
Don't watch the second one.
if I have time this week. Yeah, I know I will.
Nope, skip that one too.
What about a very Harold and
Just the
Kumar
first one.
Christmas?
It's in and out
Okay,
comedy,
just the first one.
good stuff.
Okay.
Host?
Host, it was called. Host, that was 2020. The one that I'm thinking
There's
of
a
came
Chris
out before
Evans
that.
version of this kind of where he gets a phone call and it's this lady who got kidnapped and he has to like find her.
Uh-huh.
And he's just on the phone with her the entire movie. Unfriended.
Unfriended, that's right, that's what it was.
Sounds... Oh,
That's right.
Wow. Okay.
It was on Skype, not Zoom. Remember Skype?
No.
No. Well, yeah, but no.
I remember one of my education classes I took was on Zoom or something, and one of the kids was talking about how he communicates to people through Discord, and my professor was like, what she didn't know what Discord was, which is fine, and the kid was doing a really bad job explaining it, and so I just turned off my mic and I went, it's the new Skype. And she was like, oh,
10
okay,
points
thanks,
for
Andrew.
Gryffindor.
Yeah.
So I watched that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I watched anything else in the last couple weeks.
I didn't, since you talked about Harry Potter, I didn't rewatch Harry Potter. But I saw a play a couple months ago about
Puffs.
Harry Potter called Puffs. And it's hilarious. It's a really good show. It's about Hufflepuffs in the same year as Harry Potter, and their journey through the 7 years, like living in the shadow of Harry Potter. And it's hilarious. Like they just make so much like meta commentary.
Who's the big
on
Hufflepuff?
on the
Cedric?
books and the movies. Yeah, so Cedric's one of the main characters in the first act.
He dies.
You can guess how the first act might end.
I didn't
he
know
dies.
that.
Yeah. But like that's how they leave it at intermission, is him getting struck. And then like the narrator comes out and she was like, take a moment and reflect. And then they leave and then they come back and he's in the same position. He's like, what do you think? What do you guys think is going to happen? Or do you all know?
Yes. Colby, have you seen anything?
Yeah.
Since our last episode that we recorded,
Everywhere? All at
I
once?
binged the entirety of The Office.
Wow. It's impressive.
Watched
That's right.
the
You told me about
2014 Godzilla.
The Cranston.
I watched Skull Island.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Skull Island's good.
And I got about 2/3 of the way through Godzilla King of Monsters.
Okay.
I also watched the first 3 episodes of Reacher. Thought that was pretty
season
good.
1 or
Haven't
2?
gone back though. Season 1.
I watched.
Yeah.
I watched both seasons of that. Season 1 is definitely
Haven't
way
seen that
better. But that dude is huge.
Yeah. Dude, he's jacked.
In the second season, he's even more jacked, which is impossible to think about.
Like, he could walk up to me and probably just kill me with like one
Absolutely.
hit. One good hit.
Yep. He's actually going to be in a movie in a month or two, a Guy Ritchie movie with Henry Cavill. So it's just 2 giant dudes like fighting the German.
Well, I could be
Nice.
but I'm fairly certain he appeared in the cult classic Fast 10.
Did he? He might have.
I feel like he did.
Was that Fast
X
10
Part
or
1?
Fast
My bad,
X
forgive
Part
me.
1?
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh,
I
did I
honestly
say-
didn't
Yeah,
know
he
if
did
there were
pop
2
up in
different movies or not.
As
That was a
who?
legitimate
Part
question.
one of
Side
3.
character or
Kind of. He's like the generic military dude.
oh, gotcha.
Because military's involved in this now. And No, you're
So
good,
is
you're good.
Fast... Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to ask, is Fast X Part 2 going to be
don't know
called
that
Fast
they
X
know.
Part 2 or Fast XI Part 2?
Truthfully, I don't know that they know.
Okay,
what
that's
they're
fair.
doing. I think they're just
I
making
respect
them.
that.
It's kind of just like whatever Vin Diesel publicly says first, I think is
Alright.
what they're going with.
Like if I asked you
This is
what
fair
the
enough.
plot summary of Fast 6 is, like would you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would have no clue.
Oh yeah.
They race cars, and I don't even know who's in that one.
Those movies are my guilty
I haven't
pleasure
seen any
movies.
of them.
They're
That's
so
what I would
bad,
say.
but I find them so entertaining because like it's absurd. The things that he says, Vin Diesel specifically, he's not a good actor.
Yeah.
He's such a bad actor. Hence why he only says "I am Groot" in the entirety of the MCU.
No, like if they're on, I watch them, but I'm also like, I don't care what number this is. Like, I just want to see the ridiculous action sequences.
And they try to build so much lore for no
Yeah.
reason. Nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it wasn't like, I remember at one point they brought on Charlize Theron, and wasn't she like his sister or something? Like, they always try to like make it ridiculous.
Family. Yeah. Come on,
It's all
man.
about family.
Well, because they added Jason Statham and then Luke Evans, and they were brothers, and
Jason
all that.
Statham killed. So get ready for this. Jason Statham killed one of the. No, all right. So the family fought Jason Statham's brother. They crippled him. Jason Statham wanted to go for revenge and killed one of the family members. Then in
That
the
was
next
Monica, right?
movie,
No, what's her name?
no,
Michelle Rodriguez's character when she dies.
no, that's a different altercation with
Okay,
other family.
gotcha. But she's not dead anymore, right?
No, she's not dead. She came back. Like 5
Gotcha.
people keep coming back.
Well, Hans isn't dead either, right?
Nope, he came back. So that's the one that Jason Statham killed. And
Gotcha.
then a movie later, Vin turned on the family because he had a new family with another lady, and Charlize Theron kidnapped his other family, and then they needed help, and so Vin Diesel recruited
it's like that episode of
Jason
Celebrity Jeopardy.
Statham, and now Jason Statham is part of the family.
Well, so what movie did they fight The Rock, and when does The Rock become part of the family?
5.
5?
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
Colby, I applaud you for actually knowing that.
That's. And what is Jason Momoa's part in the most recent one? Because I haven't seen that one yet.
All right. I got you. So Jason Momoa in Fast X Part 1 of 3 to be continued. He is mad because Vin Diesel killed his dad. It's all about family. Killed his Vin Diesel stole his dad's money, and then The Rock killed his dad in number 5.
Who's his dad?
Some dude.
But not like a big actor or anything.
No, they were family though. That's what matters.
Makes sense.
And so they retcon Jason Momoa into the 5th movie.
Yeah, because doesn't he like go off a bridge and like drown almost, and then he like comes back and isn't Wonder Woman in these movies too?
It was better than Aquaman 2 for sure.
What's her name?
What's
Brie
she
Larson.
do? What's her role?
Captain Marvel show
cousin?
the one.
I think I might have blacked that part out.
Sure. That's okay. Could I interrupt for one quick second? I really hate to quit while Colby's really ahead. For I don't know. He seemed happy. I didn't want to stop that. For our expedition tomorrow, Cassie thinks we could use your dad's truck, but she's afraid to ask him herself. That's not what she said. But she said he's going to bed soon, so we want to check on that.
Yeah.
Now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll look into that.
Okay. All right. Well, all right.
I'll be back.
Resume.
What about?
I don't know if she wants.
Isn't? Oh,
okay.
He's leaving. Oh, can you?
That's all right. I can answer your questions.
What's the last one you saw?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen any, like even the first one.
I haven't seen any of them.
Cause like,
nope. So the idea that Colby and I have had was that we're gonna wait until the last one or the reported last one comes out, and I'm gonna watch the first one before we see the last one.
What happens in between? Makes sense.
Then try to connect the dots. Yeah,
I think the first one is like
really
actually
fun.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, see, I have no expectations, which I say now. I don't know if that'll be different whenever I get around to watching them. Maybe that'll work in my favor.
I didn't mind the second
not having
one
expectations.
That was without Vin Diesel. That was like the Tyrese one. I don't mind any of them, but like yeah, they've gotten progressively weirder and weirder and like longer and stranger and more actors and yeah.
Obscure.
They've been to space now, correct?
Very obscure.
And they're doing a Jurassic Park
crossover
from my understanding,
yes.
That's what people want.
That's reported. I don't think that's been announced yet. Was it G.I. Joe is actually doing a crossover with Transformers, and I saw that and I misinterpreted it as Fast and Furious.
Did you see all those announcements?
With Transformers?
There's some pretty cool stuff coming up. I'm super excited for
definitely.
They announced they're doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin live action movie, which I don't read a lot of comic books, but I actually read that that comic run, and it's like really good. So it's basically the demise of the Turtles minus one, because obviously the Last Ronin is the last remaining turtle, but you read like half of it without knowing which turtle it is, and then you figure it out. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, that is cool.
But it's real dark.
I like stuff like that.
It's gonna be R-rated, I guess, and I hope they keep it as dark as the comic is, because obviously Ninja Turtles are like, whoa, let's go like kick butt and eat pizza. So
yeah,
because in the comics,
like they have
April is like half robot because she's been blown up, stuff like that. So it's like it's real dark.
Oh wow,
but it's cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. what was the other? They made some like really big announcements.
That was the
And
big
now I'm
one.
blanking on
I know
almost all of them. Like the Warner Brothers
they
presentation.
showed footage of Gladiator 2, which people like really responded well to. They announced a Transformers animated TV show, or showed footage of it, and then they also talked about the Transformer G.I. Joe crossover that's going to happen. There's a couple other things, but I didn't see them as important to myself, so I just kind of glazed over them.
I think I might have. This is off topic. I think I told my mom about the movie theater chairs. Her and I, our neighbor across the street has a big daffodil garden. So her and I went over to pick out some of those, and I'm fairly confident I told her about it then, and she thought that would actually be a neat idea.
It's always good.
Again, nowhere to put them. Yeah, so it's definitely. I'm just looking around the room.
Is that your Lego space too?
I like. Yeah, I mean, since we're still recording this episode,
Nice.
I'll do a studio tour. So this is the area, and you'll notice actually my Hogwarts castle is gone because Colby is actually going to dismantle it for me and take it apart there. So opposite me, I have this TV with this electric fireplace. And then we're going to get into all the Lego stuff. We also have our little music studio.
Nice.
My dad plays the guitar.
We
never do it down here. He just keeps his guitars and my piano down here. Then we get...
Yeah. Was that like a Lego shelf?
Here. That's my... Yeah, I got that from my friend Mike, who was looking to get rid of it. Nice. And I thought it would be a nice organizer, which really hasn't proven one way or the other. Right? But yeah, that's that there. I know I can definitely like when I went to their storage room with them and like I saw how Colby has all his stuff like tucked away in there. I'm like, that is not really a bad idea. Like something to consider, just because it's just taking up so much space and like where I don't work with them anymore. I just don't have as much incentive to use them. But I think something that was funny was I told my mother, now this is the same woman who every time I bring home a yellow Lego bag would roll her eyes. When I told her that Colby was dismantling my Hogwarts set, she was like actually sad.
Will you rebuild it at some point?
And I'm like, you do care. You just I definitely, yeah. So that is a set that will have value when it ultimately retires. So before I left, I bought another one, which is in the box. So I can have like this one to rebuild, have at my own leisure. I did. I had that one unbuilt too. I'm waiting.
That was really cool.
That's one that I want to build. And I don't know. Someone told me that was like a really good
because you get
a fun set to build with other people
for each of the buildings. So
yeah. So what I'd like to do with that one, like my dream to build with that set would be to do it like with a committed partner I'm with. And then they make that be like a fun experience to do. Yeah.
Kate would never build with me. Every once in a while, she builds, like, if I have a 2-pack of BrickHeads, she'll build, like, the other one while I build one. And then I finish mine, and she's halfway through hers, and she goes, can you just finish this? So that's usually our brick building experience.
Yeah, my sister occasionally will do stuff with me, but she lives in Arizona right now.
This week, I built the new Guardian ship, like that green and like pinkish purple one. That because it was like $100 set, but I found it for $40 at Walmart, $45. So I was like, for 55-60% off.
That's not that's a good deal. I gotta
get it, and I had it in my trunk, and I was at work, and I had nothing else to do, so because I do the overnight, so I don't have responsibilities like once it gets dark, basically. And I wasn't tired, so I wasn't gonna go to bed, and I was like, well, I guess I'll build this. So it's actually cool. A lot cooler than I would have expected. It was kind of like a no nonsense build, but it was fun.
Good.
It
So when they put out that April Fool's thing about that minion, I was sold. They tricked me. I was, for our listeners, and I may have mentioned this before, I am like obsessed with the minions. And I was so excited when they announced this life size, like not even life size, like 6 foot tall thing as an April Fool's joke. And I was heavily hurt when I discovered that it was a hoax, all aroused. Yeah,
I think we are getting sets, but they're like
you live and you learn.
Sets.
Yeah, it's regular.
I did like
what
that,
you would expect
that one
of
they
a
did a couple years
set.
ago, though, like the 12-inch minion characters.
Yeah, I have those.
I have
on
like a
top
case
of my
with
Lego
all my brickheads
display.
in it, and they live in there because they're like in that same realm, I guess.
Nice. I remember I went to get I don't know if I was getting headshots done for like theater or like to put on my resume or something. And I went to I wanted to take a picture of myself, but I didn't like how to position my phone. Like I didn't know how to do that, so I made a phone mount out of Legos. And I was so excited. I think I showed my mom, like, Mom, look what I made.
Bro.
She was like, wow, yeah, look what you made. Very nice. Yeah.
I made like
Isn't it cool?
I still use this.
It's Lego.
It's like a Lego like pencil case. It's just like stupid.
Yeah.
It's color coordinated. It's got my like pens and silly.
All right. What's the verdict?
Truck's acquired.
All right.
Solid.
Yeah,
Very nice.
He said he should have straps in the back of the truck for us.
Oh, perfect.
Steve, genuine
how'd that go?
Question.
I want to hear this conversation.
Use the truck, sure.
So one of these chairs is for you, correct?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you gonna get it home?
Yeah. We'll just keep it in my car.
We have an SUV, so whenever
Until
I see you guys,
until I see you.
that. Yeah, we
Nice.
have a third car because my mother-in-law was gonna sell it to like a dealership, and she had taken it to like an auto body shop, and they were like, "Yeah, it's like pretty much a perfect car considering how many miles are on it, and like where we live and how that like tends to like rust and stuff like that." You're like, "This is a pretty much perfect car. Like you should get like, $7,000 to $8,000 in trade in or whatever towards a new car." And when she went, they were only going to give her like $3,000. So we were like, "We'll gladly give you $3,000 or even more than that."
Yeah.
To just have it if it's a perfect like SUV, and she's the sole owner. Like she bought it new, so we know exactly what it's been through. So we just bought it. We're just gonna like pay her slowly over time. We like paid for half of it up front.
That's smart.
It's just nice to have an extra car, and it's bigger. It's got more space. So we're taking it to New York in a couple weeks for the Lego show.
Cool.
Because that's 2 weekends from this weekend.
Yeah.
They canceled that one.
When's the one in New Hampshire?
Yeah, because it was only a 1-day event, and they couldn't.
They did?
I guess they couldn't. We got an email about it that they couldn't keep the. There was an issue with the building that they were using, so they just didn't want to like risk it, basically.
Okay.
But I'm doing Albany.
That's
in 2
too bad.
weeks, and then I'm going to Virginia in August for Brick Fair, like the first week of August, and then I'm gonna do Portland, Maine, in October, and I'm doing Burlington, Vermont in September. Yeah, and then there's one There's like a real small one in Brattleboro, which is only like 20 minutes from my house, in October as well. So so obviously I'm building Helm's Deep. I don't know if you guys know what that looks like, but there's like one giant tower, and I liked it, but like I didn't like the way my final tower was. And I was telling Andrew when you were gone that I built the Guardian ship.
Yeah.
And I built it this week, and it had like a really cool, you know how it has the 2 rings? So it had like a pretty cool technique on how to do that I didn't know. So I like saw that and I was like, oh, now I know how to like round off my tower instead of like squaring it off like I did. So I ripped the whole tower down, and I have like a week and a half to fix it. Yeah, I had to order a bunch of parts.
You can do it.
I didn't have the part that I needed to like make the curve. So, but yeah, so I ripped the entire tower off and started that over. But we'll be fine. Everything else is done.
Nice.
So
cool.
Have you built anything recently, Colby? You said he hasn't really.
No, I'm making a teacher sign right now.
That one was pretty good. I had that one.
I mean, that's pretty much about it. Not too much else.
Yeah, the Guardian ship was the first thing I built in a couple weeks.
I rebuilt this, but
yeah, I think I'm gonna. I don't know, I have vacation this week. If I have enough time, I'll try and do a build. Either maybe Gringotts.
I really want to crack open my AT-AT, like the $800 one. Like I really want that built, but I need to know I have like 6 hours to at least get like a good head start. I don't want to crack it open and build for like an hour and then that's it. Like I want like a good. So I think I'm gonna wait for after. Like I'm gonna wait 2 weeks for after the show because I want to like work on. Yeah.
I just wanted to devote yourself to that. Make that a priority.
Yes.
Cool.
Probably because now we're just rambling
thinking about wrapping it up.
That's when you know we're done.
Yeah, we've been going for. Yeah, right. Seriously,
and
for an hour and 22 minutes we're at right now. So
we've probably talked about 22 minutes.
It's like an average length for us.
Actual
I think.
Film.
Solid. I'm gonna go watch Blade Runner now.
Honestly.
So. Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, had we postponed this episode, we may not be going on. We may not have discovered this expedition.
We may not have chairs.
Some may say that would have been a better thing.
And Cassie said she'd blog it for us.
This is the last time I'm going to see you guys.
Yeah, right.
It was nice knowing you.
We'll report back next week.
Yeah. Yeah. And if we have them next week, you bet your ass I'm recording in it.
Oh man, they're gonna be like sticky and have gum on them. And...
They looked. I mean, if the pictures she showed us were legit, they look pretty clean.
Until I see it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if they look like shit, just don't buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no harm, no foul. It's not like she can be like, "You said that's great," but
are you?
I'll be like,
are you going to be around tomorrow, Steve?
I'm working.
Yeah, right, like if I look, maybe I can FaceTime you or something.
If I don't answer for whatever reason, just go with your best judgment.
Judgment call.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
Okay. Yeah.
That'll be great. You guys will have to recap that for me.
We won't have to. We're going to vlog it.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Cassie's going to... She said she'd... And I like video editing stuff, and I have a week off, so
it's going to be one of those like
found
footage murder documentaries in a couple of years. So
this will be a premium thing.
$25.
Yeah.
Cash.
Up front.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. If you've made it this far, we'll call it a random episode. I don't know. Steve's good with the creative titles on that one. Yeah. All right, so we'll see you all in the next
Bye.
episode.
Bye.
Signing off.